Hello my gorgeous people, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your weekly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's in between the 27th of September and the 5th of October 2021. So this weekly horoscope tarot card forecast is for all 12 signs of gorgeous zodiac, of course, and it's in between the 27th of September and the 5th of October 2021. And I'm going to start with my gorgeous and with my ever so precious, my beautiful Aries, my gorgeous Aries. I want you to understand that there is going to be the possibility of you having a bit of a conflict this week, and this particular conflict that I'm talking about, the right response to this would of course be for you to actually just focus on things that you want to do. If something doesn't make sense to you, then most certainly you should avoid this, because it looks like you're gonna you're gonna come across somebody, and this is going to create a rather challenging situation for you, because you're going to come across somebody, this week who is just really going to open your eyes in so many different ways. But then at the same time, you need to understand that there's a bit of a challenging situation going to happen there, and the response, the best response when it comes to that challenge would be you just acting in the way that you want to act. You must most certainly follow your intuition, because your own intuition is not going to lead you astray. And particularly, you need to remember to stand up for yourself, stand up for yourself, stand up for yourself, and stand up for what you believe in. And I'm saying this on purpose so many times, because you will almost like a kind of like when you come across this particular person, you're almost going to like feel like your energy is like kind of being depleted, and this is the problem with people like this, is like when they have got such a strong energy, how I started this reading with, that you're going to come across someone with a quite powerful and strong energy, and sometimes that can be quite negative, because they drain our energy in a certain way. So this particular person is going to like a little bit drain your energy in a certain way, and when that happens, then we kind of lose our way of thinking, because we find ourselves being like just a little bit disorientated within our own feelings, within our own emotions, and we don't respond how we should respond. And this type of people have got such a strong energy that they can literally take over their own opinions and their own way of thinking over us. It can go over us and take over, and then we kind of like find ourselves a little bit disorientated, and then you later on you just blame yourself. I should have responded like this, I should have responded like that. This is going to be absolutely superb for you. Not only that this is going to be the great step forward for you, but it's also going to help you to avoid even more conflict like later on, because this is the part of your karma. So the bottom line is that this is a very special and powerful week when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aries. But the bottom line is that you must most certainly, you need to remember to stand up for what you believe in, and to have confidence, okay? And also, like, if the certain, things and don't make sense to you, don't forget to challenge people around you. Don't forget to challenge the people and situations around you as well. This is more important than ever. And also, just to remember, that this is actually going to be really beneficial for you. Most certainly, this is going to create really important next step as well when it comes to so many other things in your life, because certain things are just going to start falling into places now after quite a while. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Taurus. My gorgeous Taurini, you need to understand, that you are most certainly going to have a really powerful vision this week, and I'm so happy for you, because this vision, it's all about you basically thinking that, the certain part of your life is quite limited, rather limited. So there, that particular part of your life where you thought it's a limited success, this is going to bring you a really powerful spiritual flip-flop moment, which means that you're going to come on top, and then once you're on top, you will be able to see so much when it comes to your own horizon, your own spirituality, your own next step, your own like a psychic feelings, and third psychic eye is most certainly going to take over this week. And this is really important in so many different ways. So you can expect to have a rather powerful vision, my gorgeous Taurus. And the way this is going to happen It's just gonna come to you. Maybe you will be sleeping and it's gonna come to you through your dream. Maybe you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna almost instantly feel connected, to the certain part of your life. So this is gonna be very, very interesting indeed, my gorgeous Taurinis, because it can come to you in any way. But once you have this vision, you will know exactly what to do. It is also at the same time gonna have a very strong connection this week to revisit the old plans, okay? And by revisiting the old plans, there is something quite specific that is missing into your life, and now it's time to bring it in. You were kind of aware of this before, but you didn't realize it's going to happen as soon, as quick as it's going to happen right now. So it's all about taking the actual next steps, my gorgeous Taurinis. But then again, this is to do with a bold and rather ambitious choices as well. It is important for you to communicate this week as much as you can, because it's all about you expanding yourself, expanding your spirituality, and expanding your plans as well. It's all about moving forward, most certainly. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Gemini. My gorgeous Geminini, you are most certainly going to have a very powerful conclusion this week. But when you have this powerful conclusion this week, what you must not do is basically jumping into the next step. This is very important not to rush with anything, because you are going to find yourself feeling quite rather emotional. So you just need to kind of go through that stage, and once you go through that emotional stage, then you're not going to feel as disorientated anymore, because when you feel emotional, then you can be very much so drawn to certain things, that maybe are not taking priority, for example. So this is really important for you to remember. It's just to take one step at a time. But there is a very important conclusion that you are going to have. But after that conclusion, that it's absolutely huge, important, and most certainly life-changing, you need to remember to take one step at a time. Now it's more important than ever. This is such a powerful week when it comes to you, because it's all about you starting to feel it again. You will feel your own rebirth. And when I say that you're going to start feeling your own rebirth within the first couple of days this week, that means that there are lots of ideas that are going to come to you, and suddenly the tiredness and the negativity that you felt, it's just going to be picked up rather nicely. And this is going to reflect on you, on your way of planning, but also the ideas that you're going to have are going to be completely out of this world. On another hand, it is time of your personal rebirth also, because you're going to feel so strongly to make that next step. But then again, at the same time, you need to kind of you will realize that the power you have, how strong you are, and you will also realize the certain illusion, and what do you need to do about that particular illusion, because you have found yourself feeling that you are rather trapped. But then at the same time, you need to understand to accept the responsibility for your situation, and then you need to understand that there are certain choices that you're going to need to make. But this is pretty much so to do with the actual next step, is to do with the future planning, is to do with your financial security and doing the right things by moving forward with your life, my gorgeous Geminini. Indeed, this is quite important for so many different ways, because it is just going to be finally the step in the right direction. And what you're going to do when it comes to your finances and when it comes to being really smart, it's just going to reflect on the people that are dearest to you in your life as well, because it's going to bring you really big accomplishments. So pay attention to the ideas, pay attention to what you feel like it's the next step, because it's going to surprise you, because some priorities are going to change a little bit, and now you have to pay attention. Okay, indeed. The next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Cancer. My gorgeous Cancerini. This week is just basically, oh my God, I really like this so much, because the certain setbacks that you have had, like previously, maybe financial setbacks, didn't allow you to do something that you wanted to do, to go on the next step. So this is pretty much so about you having a quite interesting opportunity, quite powerful opportunity, wonderful opportunity that is going to grow up into something really massive later on. So you need to pay attention to what this opportunity is, because it's pretty much so to do with what you're doing, to do with what you're focusing on, to do with your own knowledge, to do with your own skills, to do with things that you like doing, you know, to do with things, you know, the way you like to kind of express yourself. But it's just going to be an opportunity that is going to come in the form of like something really tiny, but then every single step of the way is going to grow and grow and grow like there is no tomorrow, and it's most certainly going to bring like a luxury and this particular type of containment into your life later on. So you need to pay attention to what this actual opportunity is going to be, my gorgeous Cancerini, because it's going to turn into something really big, something really important, something really powerful later on. And you know, you are going to have a certain doubts about it, like, or maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should, you know, maybe it's not the right time, blah blah blah. But then again, you will know, because you're going to be spiritually guided. You know, your subconscious mind is going to be quite spiritually penetrated to the point where you're going to be having signs and feeling very strongly about them, around them. The power of synchronicity is going to be absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to this particular week. On another hand, you know, you need to understand that you are going to have a very special ability when it comes to this week. Not only when it comes to your own kind of like a spirituality and understanding and feeling things, but also when it comes to the power of manifestation. Whether you believe this or not, you should most certainly use this powerful energy indeed. Okay, so whatever you set your mind on, you're already like kind of halfway there. Okay, and there is a very interesting unfinished business that you're going to be paying attention to at the same time. You know, you're also going to be thinking about you will want to proceed with something, but also you need to understand that you need to be practical, you know, how you proceed this week, you know, and have a sensible approach as well, because you're going to be kind of come across someone this week who is like kind of having like all sorts of problems, and maybe they will take it out on you. So that's why I'm just saying to kind of like have a sensible approach with people around you throughout this week indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Leone. My gorgeous Leos, oh my lord, you know, you're gonna become aware of the certain dishonesty. This is to start with, okay? You are gonna become aware of the certain dishonesty, but this is gonna be important for you this week, because it's most certainly going to open your eyes, and open your eyes towards the part of your life where your eyes have been closed so far. So you're going to learn something quite interesting, but at the same time this is going to be big mama moment for you, because it's going to be quite beneficial, because it's going to boost your own spirituality at the same time. On another hand, what else is going to happen this week very strongly, like my lord, very prominently, my gorgeous Leonis, I'm seeing the moment of justice. Very important news, very important situation is going to take place when it comes to your own justice. So this is really, really important. So it's something that you have been battling with, something that you have been waiting, something that you wanted to happen, and something that have affected you so badly. So there is a very positive news that you are going to have, and that in itself is going to put a big smile on your face, and it's almost immediately going to help you to reconnect with yourself. So you will see that the energy is going to start flowing in that part of your life where it comes to the actual planning and future and doing things that make you feel really excited. So this is something that was really heavy, you know, and that it affected you in so many different ways. So this is most certainly going to be very beneficial for you, because it's going to help you with the future planning, and you will see exactly what I mean by that later on. On another hand, my gorgeous Leonis, you know, it's not only about that, but it's about the fact that you're also going to have really amazing opportunity this week. My gorgeous Leonis, you are going to have an amazing opportunity this week. You need to be strong, you need to be bold, courageous, and rather optimistic, because now, believe me or not, you will realize that it's time to take action, you know. The more you do what you're passionate about, what you're happy about, the more you're going to get back out of it, because you are creating that magnetic energy at the same time that it's projecting only the best and bringing only the best into your life whatsoever. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Virgo, my gorgeous Virgo lineage. You know, this is like such an important week that you're actually going to have. You know, you're going to find yourself being really brave, you're going to find yourself being really daring, and also at the same time you're going to find yourself being rather mischievous. And I like mischievous energy because it means that you are at the same time coming out of something really negative cycle in your life that was going on, my lord, for quite a while, for the last 36 months. So these are the first steps and the first time when you're going to feel that this negative energy is slowly drifting away. So as soon as that starts drifting away, it's just free. It has got such a freedom feeling when it comes to us, when it comes to our feelings, when it comes to our emotions. And this is why you want to inspect a certain part of your life, and this is exactly what is going to happen. It's going to have an effect on you where you will want to inspect a certain part of your life, but you will know it's pretty much so to do with an unknown situation that would normally, like, oh no baby, no, it would normally put you off, but now it's going to be like a big mama moment. Yeah, just go for it, baby, just go for it. So there where you had the fear of the unknown, normally you would be like, there is the specific situation that you're gonna have where you had the fear of the unknown would normally take over, but now this is just going to become rather magnetic, and it's going to bring bravery within you, which is that mischievous energy that I was talking about. Not only that, but it's just going to bring you so much to kind of be keen to find out. You will want to find out more. You will need to find out more, and there is something very deeply that you are going to find out at the same time. It's a very strong vision that you are going to have, which is on another hand going to help you to connect to a certain part of your future, purely because you're not bringing yourself down by thinking or you're not making the situation around yourself negative by thinking in a negative way, because this would normally prevent you. You know, it would block you when it comes to like a planning your future, because sometimes people don't realize that our words are so powerful. You know, our words can prevent us from the next step, but our words can also kind of allow us to go through this spiritual door, and this is exactly what is going to happen. The strong vision is just going to kind of help you to reconnect with yourself, and that in return, it's going to really kind of get this energy going when it comes to planning and when it comes to your future. So it is a very, very important future plan that you're actually going to have through this. You know, this is going to happen by the end of this week. And this is why this week is so important for you, my gorgeous Virgolini. Indeed, an important future planning. And I know I can say like, oh yeah, we always have a future planning, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, no. This will be strong. This will be powerful. Spiritually, you're going to grow. On one hand, a very, very kind of integral part of your spiritual journey came to an end, and that is going to be directly responsible for this energy to shift. And once this energy shifts, it's going to give it the possibility yet again, I repeat, yet again, because it hasn't happened in the last 36 weeks where you 36 months where you can so vividly connect to your situation, which helps you to connect with the future. So you'll be able to vividly connect to the future and the certain part of yourself that are going to be playing an important role in July and August 2022. In July and August 2022 are going to be huge, purely because everything that was happening right now. So this will be huge. This will be important, my gorgeous Virgolini. And do not forget, if you want to do something, do it. Do not forget your own strength. Do not forget your own power, because you are more powerful than you can possibly imagine. And now it's time to use it. And the more you kind of like really reflect on this and reflect on things that you want to do throughout this week, the more things are going to be keep on popping out to do about you, which you're going to feel so brave to actually go for it, instead of being like kind of petrified and things like that, and blocking yourself, preventing yourself from moving on. So this is very important when it comes to future planning, and you will see that you are going to be so honest with yourself, because you need to be honest with yourself that the specific part of your life slowly came to an end. But then again, as soon as you start paying attention to it karmically, this is going to start going away, and then the new path is going to appear. What is going to happen to you, my gorgeous Virgolini, this week is that you are going to have a mind-blowing, a significant life experience, absolutely mind-blowing life experience, you know, that you're not going to be able to avoid, you're not going to be able to ignore. In fact, there are certain changes that are almost immediately going to be obvious for you to make, it's like in terms of adjustment, readjustment, but then again, it's just basically going to lead down to very, very powerful and unexpected actual revelation, which is going to take place which is going to take place this week, but especially over the last couple of days this week. This is going to be quite significant indeed. It's all about breaking free, but at the same time, you know, releasing the old belief system, okay? Because now you're moving on, and you will realize also at the same time how much your mind actually changed. This is a very, very powerful, like how much you actually spiritually growth. You know, this is a very powerful week, my gorgeous Virgolini, and you will see exactly what I mean. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Libra. My gorgeous Libra, for those of you that don't know, Libra means Libra. So basically now it's the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Libra. And you know, it's just so important for me to say this, you know, because it's like basically you are going to have such a powerful reward this week, and I really like it because you have been so smart not that long ago. You just kind of like reacted to the certain specific situation in your own way, and maybe lots of people would be like, oh, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Don't do this, don't do that. But no, baby, no. You have been very, very clever. And now this is going to get back to you. Karmically, you have done something that is also going to be beneficial, not only for yourself, but it's also going to be beneficial for the people that are very close to you. That you started something really important, that it's going to have the necessary spiritual unfoldment for a while, which means that, you know, this is to do with the pretty much so with a very powerful inspiration, you know, that you kind of took on. So now this is going to unfold into something absolutely amazing, something really, really big. So you can expect a very powerful news this week, my gorgeous Libra. You are going to have a very powerful news, and you have been waiting for this news, and you wanted this to happen for the last 34 months. For the last 34 months, you wanted this to happen. This affected you so much. And some of you actually even kind of forgot about it, and some of you didn't even think that it's going to happen, and some of you don't even think that this is going to happen, okay? Because it was just a kind of like within the last 34 months, this was like pretty much so like what you were kind of waiting for and hoping to happen. So this is the news that is going to reflect the last 34 months, and it's to do with an amazing accomplishment. This is going to make you feel so good. This is going to make you feel so much better. This is going to make you feel alive. I'm not saying that you felt dead or anything like that, but you will see this energy once it takes over, my lord. And when you feel this energetic lightness, you know, you just simply cannot ignore this feeling whatsoever. So in response to that, there is a lot going to be going on, you know, throughout this week, my gorgeous Libra, that you should just be paying attention to. There are lots of signs that you are going to have. There are lots of like basically, you know, there is a certain omen as well that you're going to have. The omen that you're going to have, my gorgeous Libra, it's going to happen in a form of like a bird, or it's going to be in a form of a cat, you know, cat or a bird, or like some kind of a dog animal. One of these three animals are going to be directly responsible for you having an important omen. You will know that these animals are part of your dimension. You will know that they're bringing a message, whether this is a cat, whether this is a dog, a type of dog animals, or whether this is going to be like a bird. You know, you will know that you're sharing the same element. You will know that you're sharing the same dimension. You will feel it, and you will know it. Perhaps something will be strange about that animal. Something will be unusual. Maybe it's just going to look at you and make a strong connection. Maybe it's just just going to pass really close next to it, but you've never came across this animal. So you will know when you see this animal that it's also going to bring you a really mind-blowing message. And the mind-blowing message that it's going to bring you is that it's time for the next step, that you have to be bold and quick, and it's time to make the necessary next step. And what the next step it's going to be, it's going to be revealed within the next few days after you have actually seen that animal. You know, a few days later, you're also going to have a mind-blowing revelation, and the mind-blowing revelation, it's going to be connected to the next step. It's going to make you feel something very special, something very different, and something very unique. And when I say the next step, you know, it's going to have an element of surprise, because you're going to think, no, I can't do this, I can't go there, I can't do that. But yes, you can. The power is within, and you are at the same time going to become aware of the very special skill, very special part of you that you're in self-denial about, that you should be paying attention to, like a very special skill, you know, and that is just going to become quite prominent as well. And this is also going to be playing an important role, an important part of you thinking about your next step as well. So this is all gonna be very significant when it comes to you, my gorgeous Libra, indeed. On another hand, you know, don't kind of prevent yourself from like kind of going forward with your life, because I can see that you will be really also this week you're going to be thinking about like a kind of like whether you can do something, you know, something that you wanted to do for a while, and it's just going to make you feel like also kind of doubt yourself, and you're going to find yourself contemplating quite a lot. You are going to find yourself on the crossroads. I need you to remember this, my gorgeous Libra. This week you're going to find yourself on the certain crossroads, and this is most certainly going to be evident at around the midweek. Okay, when you find yourself on a certain crossroads, you're going to be having feelings like a certain negative feelings are going to be kind of taking over in terms of like you haven't got enough resources. You know, you haven't got enough resources. Yes, you do. The answer is yes, you do. You just have to be the one who is going to allow this to happen by making the necessary step, which is pretty much so to do with the unknown. By the same time, you have got the power, you have got the ability to connect to the actual certain parts of your future that are in return going to make this whole feeling and message like a very colorful, because you will be able to see things that you're not going to be able to ignore, and you're going to be able to feel them from such a higher level. So this is something that is going to be keeping you going. At the same time, as long as you realize that you have got more resources than you possibly can to actually move on with your life and go forward. Very important indeed. On another hand, you know, my gorgeous Libra, what you need to understand, the more energy you put into the work this week, the more you're gonna get out of. This is so important for you to understand. If you do something that you love, if you do something that you like, you're gonna get so much out of it. You will be noticed like there is no tomorrow. Not only by the people that are just immediately around you that can notice you, but the energy and vibration is gonna be super powerful. So this is something that you should actually do, because it will be echoing very, very far when it comes to the actual universe, and this echo is going to return to you, and it's also at the same time going to provide you with an opportunity and an achievement, an accomplishment like you wouldn't normally have. So the more you focus and do things that you love, the more you're gonna get out of it, especially, my lord, when it comes to this particular week. So this is very important. And also for those of you who want a promotion, for those of you who are looking for work, or if you are retired, you know, like if you're looking for work and if you're looking for promotion, this is the time to most certainly do it. Do as much as you can, because you will be noticed like so much. And for those of you that are retired, you know, it's also like going to bring such a powerful, important spiritual moment. Just by you doing what you like, just by you expressing yourself, this is also going to begin, going to become the start, the return of the energy that is going to rejuvenate you so much. But later on, it's also going to bring you recognition, recognition, you know. The more creative you are, the more recognition you're going to have later on. This is absolutely brilliant. And something is going to come to you for the first time, like a certain idea. And trust me, that particular idea, it's not impossible. In fact, it's going to bring you an excellent reputation. Okay? So now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful, my powerful Scorpione. My gorgeous Scorpio, I love you so much. Scorpio, come out to play. I love you so much, my gorgeous Scorpione. This is like a pretty much the time when you're already like entering your own dimension, you know. This is your time. This is slowly your element. It's like October and November, of course. But the October is the time when you're just going to start finding so much kind of like refreshing, if I can say like this, because you're going to come across a lot of things like that normally they would kind of drain you so much, and you know you need to do them, you know you need to come across them, and normally they would drain you, but now you're just going to start finding this rather challenging in the best possible way, and that in itself is just going to really increase your vibration from the beginning of this October. I'm talking about the October now in general, because we are slowly now entering this 27th of September, we are slowly entering October. So this is the time when you're already kind of starting to feel rather vibrant, and also every single day, you know, now you're just gonna feel more powerful energy, which is gonna reflect on you, start slowly reflecting on you and your way of planning and your ideas. Just pay attention to your planning, pay attention to your ideas, you know, because every single thing has got like a very important spiritual message for you when it comes to its unfoldment. You are the one who's gonna choose things, and you're the one who pinpoint things, you know, in your life, and that's the direct response from your own spiritual journey, by doing the right thing and by making the right choice. On another hand, my gorgeous Scorpione, you know, this is a really gonna be really powerful week for you, and at the same time, you know, it is just basically like the end of the certain restrictions. You know, there's like a certain restrictions in your life that were affecting you, that were bringing you down, and that were making you feel really negative, that were making you feel really stuck. And when you find yourself feeling stuck, you find yourself feeling like quite disorientated, and when you find yourself rather disorientated, then it just kind of brings you down and makes you feel a little bit negative, because it's like almost impossible to connect to the certain part of our future when it comes to our planning. So now you will be able to finally feel things moving on with your life, and I'm so happy. So it's to do with these restrictions, realization, like, oh my god, this week is going to bring you a really important message. That message is just going to open your eyes, and it's going to help you realize things, and it's pretty much so to do with the confirmation. But then again, it's to do with like a very much so how weird people can be, how strange people can be, and it's going to make you wonder, you know, are we all kind of humans, or are some like beings out there, like is there something wrong with them? Are they humans? You know, is there something not quite right with them? You know, you're going to become aware of like maybe like a dark entities. I say dark entities, of course I'm referring to their energy, you know. You will become aware of the certain dark entities, and that is going to make you around the world, in the world, you know, and that's going to make you think, like, it's going to open your eyes, but it's going to make you think, it's going to confuse you a little bit, like it's really going to make you think like, oh, are we all humans, or are there different type of species in this world? Exactly, because you will not be able to think and believe how naughty and how dark like some people can actually be, very low energy, very low vibration. But I repeat that these people are nothing to do with your life, but it's just to do with the bigger picture, something that you're going to come across, but something that is at the same time going to also open your eyes, confirm things to you, but also it's going to make an important role because you're just going to kind of change your mind a little bit, like in the best possible way, because spiritually there is the realization that you are going to have that is going to illuminate your world, and it's actually it's going to point you towards the right direction, because by the end of this week, you know, it's the opportunity that you're going to have. It's not normally what you would go for, but because of this little readjustment that you will have in the between, you're gonna start making your way like slightly adjusted, and this adjustment, little adjustment that you're gonna have, it's also on one hand it's just something that, you know, it's a lot to do with a missing part of you that is going to become evident, but it's also at the same time the realization, very precious realization, that this life is really short. We live just a certain amount of time. We are here on this earth and then we are gone, we go somewhere else. This is all going to be the part of this process, this energy that is going to open your eyes, but it's at the same time going to strengthen you out when it comes to your own courage, and when it comes to trusting yourself and believing yourself, and also when it comes to being rather daring, when it comes to stepping into the future. You know, it's to do with the direction that you want to do, you want to make. It's lots of new things around it, but again, it's to do with the missing part of you. It's going to kind of like really remind you that there is something quite unfinished for you to do. So if there is some kind of unfinished, you know, when you become aware of the certain unfinished business, like my Lord, you know, there are two specific things and situations that you are going to have when it comes to the unfinished business. One is at the beginning of the week and one is at the end of the week. Both things you should do, both things you should go for, because it's going to come back to you like 1,000,000 times. It's going to multiply it like there is no tomorrow, because both of these things are creating and making the certain challenges in you, but then again, they're necessary for the next steps, for your own rejuvenation and realization as well. Okay, on another hand, my gorgeous Scorpionic, you know, this is a brilliant week, because also in itself, it's not only about you having your own escape and adjustment. And I say an escape, you know, because you will escape the situation in your life this week that is just making you feel really unhappy, and it's making you feel really tired, and it's making you feel really great. But on another hand, my gorgeous Scorpione, you know, this is about a new start becoming absolutely obvious to you, and you just have to trust yourself. Okay, put your fears aside and take a leap of faith. This is really important. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpione, this week is going to bring you a new start. Trust yourself and push your fears aside. Take a leap of faith. It's very important. Okay, indeed. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Sagittarius. My gorgeous Sagittarians, you know, it's like this is a bit of like an interesting week that you're actually going to have, and it's also like kind of like you need to understand that you're going to have a little bit of test this week. You are gonna kind of like come across the certain people that are going to kind of be in a conflict with you. But then again, what you need to do and what you need to understand is that, you know, anyone who comes across in your life, anyone who comes through, anyone who comes forward and tries to have like a little bit of conflict with you, just take this as a very sacred challenge, because if you do things right, you are gonna have a wonderful little surprise at the end of the week. And what you should do if somebody's trying to challenging you, really the ultimate response to that would be to make the whole situation smiley for both of you at the end. But at least if you can't do this, then at least you can just basically try to come on top of things by smiling and by rising above the situation, you know, instead of like going in, you're just bringing yourself down, and you're like kind of like a really it's not very good for your own spiritual evolvement. So what you need to do is just, this is the part of the challenge, just remember, this is a karmically very important moment in time, because when somebody tries to challenge you, and this can be somebody who's like in your life, it could be like a family member, or it could be like somebody who's like you work with, or it could be somebody who you are talking to. Just remember, when that happens, just rise above the situation, and you are going to have a mind-blowing reward by the end of the actual week. Okay, this is very important, because the reward that you are going to have at around the end of the week, it's going to come in turn of it's going to come like as in form of the actual opportunity, as in form of the actual option, and it's also to do with the actual ambition. Your own ambition is to do with your own next step. So this is very important. I know that this sounds really weird, and it sounds really bizarre, and it sounds really crazy, but this is a very important karmic test that you are going to have this week. And look at it as a challenge, look at it as an opportunity, look at it as something that you're actually looking forward forward to. So you know, it's just all you need to do is just to be kind of prepared for the certain conflict. But then again, you will know that this is directly connected to your spirituality and your spiritual situation, and above all your karma. So it's just something that you still need a bit, you need to work on it a little bit. So this is why this is bouncing back as in a challenge, like that you have to, like, maybe not that long ago you responded very negatively to somebody else. Maybe you were blaming yourself for that, maybe you felt sorry for that, maybe you took a certain situation in a wrong way. So this is why this is bouncing back, and it's yet providing you with an important opportunity to deal with it yet again. So you can take it as a blessing more than anything else, because this is going to be directly connected to your own future planning later on. This is most certainly going to play an important role, because you will see the part of your life that you thought that you were powerless about, you know, now this is going to bring you the huge, amazing, absolutely massive liberating moment. And this is all going to be connected to this like there is no tomorrow. And what else I was going to say, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what you need to remember, you know, the power of your manifestation is like, oh my God. But in particular, when it comes to your skill, when it comes to your things that you are doing, you know, when it comes to things that you are creating, there is an absolutely powerful moment that you're actually going to have. When it comes to your manifestation, there is one absolutely mind-blowing situation going to take place. Okay, when it comes to the actual manifestation, you just need to give a credit to yourself, because there is the realization about a certain part of you, something that you're not doing but you should be doing it, something that it's missing. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are on, whatever you're trying to create, whatever you're trying to make the next step be, whatever you're focusing on right now this week, there is one particular element of you that you should not be ignoring it anymore. To some of you it's going to be an extra work, to some of you it's going to be a little bit of challenge, or you need to do this, you need to do that, but you will see that something is meant to come into your life, and it's like going to require from you to notice this, you know, something that you're not doing, but most certainly you should be doing it, because you're almost like a born to actually do it. So it's pretty much so with the next step with what you're doing, but it's not completely different to where you are at right now, but it's an important next step that it's actually going to be super powerful later on when it comes to your development. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Capricorn, my gorgeous Capricornius. You know, this is like, basically, this is such a powerful week when it comes to you, when it comes to things that you have been waiting for, when it comes to things that you have been so scared about, you know, when it comes to things that you have been really fearful about, when it comes to things that have brought you down and then made you feel in a really negative way and really dark way and really uncertain way. You know, you're very special sign indeed, purely because I said this many times, you're so deep, and your deepness is your own power, your deepness is your own energy, but you can pick up on all sorts of things and vibration throughout the actual earth field, like above some other signs. You just do it quick as this, and it's just basically also at the same time, on top of that, you're really psychic, so you can like subconsciously like channel so much, and there are lots of things that you have been able to channel over the last 36 to 48 months that actually just made you really worried, you know, and it's just like things about you doing things now and things about your future just kind of made you really worried, and it affected your way of thinking, it affected your way of planning, whether you kind of are honest with yourself about this or you're not. You know, this is most certainly going to become quite evident this week, because within the first few days there is a very important information that you are going to have, my gorgeous Capricornius, and the information that you're going to have, it's actually gonna really kind of give you some time to relax, because you will be able to see something about the future that you weren't able to see before, and you will see exactly what I mean, and that in itself is going to give you the hope, you know, and faith where you need it the most, and that in itself is pretty much so kind of gonna put a big smile on your face. It's gonna bring you such a wonderful balance that was missing in your life so much, that affected you and affected your way of planning, but most importantly it's about the opportunity which is going to unfold by the end of the week. This opportunity that is going to unfold for you is just going to, at the same time, going to open your eyes, but it's also going to help you and make you realize unlimited possibilities where you haven't kind of realized this before. So there is a very important opportunity going to come through for you, my gorgeous Capricornians, and you are going to be absolutely loving this in so many different ways, you know, because by the time you get to the actual last part of this week, you know, it's all about you revisiting the certain old plan. This is very important to say, that you will be revisiting an old plan, and this in itself is going to require for you to work on an unfinished business. Any unfinished business that you have, most certainly you should go for it. You should trust yourself, and also at the same time get rid of any fears. You also need to push any fears aside. This is very important for you to understand that this week, without even realizing, you will be taking an important steps. You will be taking the next steps, but then at the same time you just need to kind of be remember that you need to talk as much as you can. You need to express yourself as much as you can, because somebody who's very close to you is going to pinpoint something about you that you wouldn't normally notice, and that in itself is just going to also create a really powerful spiritual shortcut as well, which is just going to kind of help you to connect to yourself, and that in itself is going to help you see what you wouldn't see at that moment in time. But that is going to be like a God's gift. It's going to be like a blessing to you at the same time, because it's about expanding yourself, expanding your plans, doing the right things, and just continuing to move forward. Very important, my gorgeous Capricornians, indeed. And also, you know, you just need to see that somebody in your life, somebody close to you, has basically is being misled by someone. And I'm seeing this again, so it's so important for you to try to step in. Somebody who means to you so much, who is really important to you, who is very special to you, it's just being misled with something, some kind of dark forces, dark energy around that person. Try to see who this is, because you know the truth. That person is the truth, and you're the one who knows it. So that's why you need to pay attention to this, my gorgeous Capricornians, indeed. But then on another hand, you know, there is a kind of like a basically also what is going on in your mind this week when it comes to work, when it comes to finances. Just remember that this is later on going to bring you luxury and culmination and really big victory in your life, because you're going to find yourself like doubting and thinking and being really deep, but then at the same time, you know, it's to do with the things being very slow and just like being very slow. But you just need to understand that those things that are very slow in our lives, you know, they're going to be the most meaningful later on as well. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Aquamarini, my gorgeous Aquarius. You know, it looks like your time is coming, and I'm so happy for you. There is a very interesting news that you are going to have within the first couple of days, you know, this week. And this news is going to be so interesting because it's going to confirm something that you were very kind of scared about, something that you were really negative about, and something that was really bringing you down. So this news is going to confirm this to you, that things are going to be absolutely fine. And this is actually also going to happen at around the time when you get another information. You're going to come across another information when it comes to your own success, when it comes to your own accomplishment. You know, these messages are really going to balance each other out. You know, when you find out about the accomplishment and success, this is just going to happen at around the time when you just need a little bit of extra energy to kind of face that realization, what you're going to have. But this is going to be so important for you, because at the end of the day, it's going to put a massive smile on your face, and it's also kind of going to help you to reconnect with yourself, and it's also going to confirm something so important. You know, it's going to confirm that you were thinking about the right thing, what you were worrying about. you were worrying about the right things, I suppose. But then again, at the same time, there is no point to worry. It's just basically, on another hand, you know, it's just like basically staying on top of the things by doing things that are making you feel really good. By doing this, you just increase your energy, you make it more magnetic, but at the same time, it gives you the strength and power to deal with things that are kind of like bothering you on an emotional level, because, you know, it's just all about the actual maybe realization that you're gonna have about somebody else that is like completely not going to surprise you. It's just gonna kind of confirm things to you more than anything else. But you the sooner you kind of face this, the sooner you kind of come across this problem, the easier it's going to be later on, because this is what is happening to you in your life, my gorgeous aquamarinis. Right now, it's like a very much so a spiritual messiness. But please don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be like a negative or anything. Spiritual messiness means there were like about 2 or 3 different points within the last 24 to 36 months, 2 or 3 different points that you kind of didn't work with or work on energetically. You knew that there were problems, but because you didn't resolve them then and there, and it's connected to somebody else, and it's also connected to the certain different situations in life, you know, this is why this spiritual messiness is going to come back now this week, and it's just going to give you a nice little spiritual slap, but in the best possible way. I really like this, because by the time you get to the midweek, my gorgeous aquamarini, it is the strength that you will have that you didn't feel in a long time. Something is going to take place, something is going to happen, and it's going to rejuvenate you like so much, and it's going to almost instantly elevate you. I don't even know how to express myself, and I don't even know how to explain this, because you will see by the time you get to the actual midweek midweek here in between the 27th of September and the 5th of October, you will see exactly what I mean. And the last 3 days, you know, 3rd, 4th and 5th of October are going to bring you a mind-blowing opportunity. The mind-blowing opportunity is also going to open your eyes at the same time, and it's gonna make you realize for the first time that you're starting to plan something about the future, but now your plans are slowly starting to change, and what that change is, it's going to become obvious, you know, to you then and there. And that change is also going to be the beginning, that realization of change, the way you view on your future and the way you plan. Something is not going to be there anymore, something is going to be missing, and that particular thing that it's missing, it's your karma, and it's that spiritual messiness that I'm talking about, because this is also going to become absolutely evident what the next step is going to be, what exactly changed, and that is going to really bring you an absolutely mind-blowing moment when it comes to your own spiritual enlightenment, my gorgeous aquamarinis. You know, what you're in self-denial about, what you were in self-denial about, now it's going to become obvious. But on another hand, it's just the opportunity that is actually going to take place you know, by the end of the week, that is going to kind of open your eyes. But there is just so much more that you will be able to kind of reflect to and understand that you couldn't understand before, and it's absolutely amazing. And on another hand, what else, my gorgeous aquamarines, you know, it is about like basically you're also going to have a hope coming in, the excitement is going to come in this week, but also you very big answer, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing answer. What is making you feel so powerless, you know? And you will realize what was making you feel so powerless. This is absolutely mind-blowing stuff, my gorgeous aquamarines. It's about the realization. Okay, what was making you so powerless? What was draining your energy so much? And almost immediately, just that realization that you're going to have, it's going to, on one hand, prevent you from kind of like entering a dangerous situation, but also it's going to prevent you to avoid a certain conflict. There is so much that is going to be answered at the same time to you, and you're going to be kind of saying to yourself, how come I didn't notice this before? It's just a simply which situation situation in particular is making you powerless. It's making you feel like your hands are tied, but then again, at the same time, the power is within you. The karma in between you and that particular situation is slowly coming to an end. So now you're not going to see it as a confusing situation anymore. You're just going to see it very, very brightly, very sharply, you know, what exactly part of your life would create, making you powerless, you know, and who is making you powerless. And exactly the same time, this is going to be the biggest moment of liberation that you've had in like about 48 months, my gorgeous Aquamarini. So this is how important this is. This is how significant this is. And almost few days later, there is a very powerful psychic vision that you are going to have. Very powerful psychic vision that is going to show you the way. Okay, it's going to assure things for you. It's going to show you the way, but it's also going to let you know how powerful you are, how strong you are, how unique you are, how you must follow your intuition. But also, where you thought that there was a limited success, you know, there is so much unlimited that you're going to realize at around the same time. So this is really, really important. You know, this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you are having a very, very big answer. Okay, and you know, on one hand, I can say that a very powerful reward is also going to come, very powerful reward from hard work. But then again, it's all about successfully balancing many priorities at once. You know, you need to understand that your determination and willpower, it's also going to bring you a huge public recognition later on. Just understand the determination and the willpower are going to be highlighted this week, but they're also at the same time later on going to bring you huge, massive, enormous, powerful recognition. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious, my beautiful Pisces. My gorgeous Piscelinist, you know, there is a very important message that you're actually going to have this week. This message is so significant because normally this wouldn't make sense to you. Normally you wouldn't understand this, but now the power of being able to connect from a much higher spiritual point, you're just going to start feeling a very, very strong connection to it, you know. It's almost like before it would come to you. It's what you're doing right now, and it's connected to the certain next steps that you need to make, that you need to do when it comes to your financial security, when it comes to your future in general. And before, you would be like, oh no, I'm not ready, you know, like, oh no, I can't do this, I can't do that, because there are so many things with like a kind of like a uncertainty connected to it. But now you will see, you will feel so strongly in order to actually do this, you know. This is a very powerful moment because also, you know, on one hand, it's just basically to do with your own future planning, but then on another hand, it's to do with your realization that you have got something very important, something very significant, something life-changing within you. The realization that you have got this ability to make the necessary next step, and you were kind of slowing yourself down, you were preventing yourself to move on. So this is something that you need to do. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you're just going to move on, you're going to change your life completely. No, baby, no. I'm just saying that there is an element of you that is going to require from you to kind of really focus and see what this is, because by the time what it is, what do you need to do in order to bring something kind of necessary and something really important and something so relevant into your life that it's also going to start the process of continuation and the process of the new perspective and the next step as well. So therefore, from the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Piscelini, you just simply need to pay attention to what is inspiring you, what makes you feel really good, and what is constantly coming to you, what is constantly on your mind as well. The numbers like 333, you know, any kind of combination with number 3, it's also your sign, because the spirituality and the power and synchronicity is going to be very strong throughout this week. This is purely because we're already entering the magical months of October 2021, so we can find this energy quite beneficial already at the end of September. So you just need to pay attention to what is like kind of like a really keep on calling you. There is a very, very important mind-blowing moment you will have. You will simply see something, and that is going to help you so much to yourself, to connect and reconnect with yourself to start with. with, and that in itself is going to like pretty much so paint the actual picture. What exactly do you need to do, which change exactly do you need to make. And this is so relevant, and it's so necessary, because it's also at the same time going to be connected to an amazing opportunity. So when you see that number 33 repeating, number 333 repeating, just remember that this is the time of a very powerful spiritual connection. So it's just that when it comes to synchronicity, it's like, oh my God, when you see that number, you need to pay attention to what exactly was on your mind then and there. What is bringing you down? What is making you feel really happy? What is kind of slowing you down? What is making you feel really uncertain? There are all sorts of feelings and emotions that we go through every single day. But when you see this number, for the love of God, you need to pay attention to exactly what was on your mind there, because this is something that you need to pay attention to, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, because that in itself is going to start the process of an absolutely mind-blowing unfoldment by the end of the week. The unfoldment that you're not even going to be able to kind of recognize, you're not even going to be able to tell that it's actually there, but it's most certainly to do with you being bold and courageous and optimistic, and having a spiritual reward for that at the same time. What you need to do throughout this week, the more you do things that you're happy about, the more you do things that you're passionate about, the more reward you're going to get, because at the same time you create this absolutely mind-blowing magnetic energy that can only bounce back and bring you like so much more that you actually so much more in your life that you could actually do with, that it's going to be quite connected to the luxurious part of your life later on. You need to understand that this is all about this week. It's pretty much so about you following your intuition, doing things that you like, doing things that you love, expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself, because the couple of challenging situations you're going to have this week, where you're going to kind of need to be responded to the certain situations, do not lose yourself. Do not lose yourself. Always, always, always in this world, respond the way you want to respond. Okay, always in this world, don't talk too much, don't ask too much like what somebody else's opinion is, because sometimes people are so powerful, they're very strong, and their energy is like a super strong, very thick, when it comes to so many different ways being thick, so we can't really see through, but they take over cheekily, and once they take over, they take our power of understanding a little bit, they mess it up for us, because their energy is like a little bit negative, it takes over, and then it messes up our own kind of energy within, and then that makes us feel like kind of like disorientated, and it makes us respond in a way that we shouldn't respond. This is where the bottom line is, because we respond in a certain way that we're not happy with, but we just do it because the energy was so strong. But then later on, a few days later, you're just blaming yourself. Oh no, I didn't say this, I should have said that, I should have said this, and these are the type of people that I'm talking about. There are two specific situations that you're gonna have this week, at the beginning of the week and at the end of the week, and these two people that you're gonna come across, two situations that you're going to come across, you just need to be yourself. You may not even come across these people like physically like that, but you can maybe come across them like in a message, text message, an email, online, it really depends. But this is what you need to remember, to just kind of stick to yourself. Okay, very, very important indeed, and do not allow your energy to be stolen. You know what else I really like? Because there is a very annoying burden coming to an end, and I really like this so much, and this burden was affecting you over the last 10 months pretty so much. This burden was affecting every single part of your life, and it even started to affect your health, it made you feel so sad, and now this energy just went as low as it possibly could. So now there is a very important news that you are going to get, my gorgeous Pisces, that is connected to the certain message, that is connected to the certain burden, what was draining your energy in so many different ways, but it was affecting you like, oh my God. So very important and positive message you're going to get, and that in itself is going to require from you to actually kind of go through the process of culmination first, and don't rush into anything, and then the certain compromise is going to come up, and that compromise is also going to be quite successful for you, because you also yet again need to remember to kind of put your foot down and ground yourself as much as you possibly can, because this is where your power is going to be, and really important realization when it comes to the next step of your life. The next step and next stage of your life will be released, will be revealed by the end of the week. Very important next step in your life, okay? But also on another hand, you know, what else I was going to say, the actual time spent in the nature is going to reward you. I know it sounds really weird, I know it sounds really, oh God, but I know I've mentioned this before, but I will say it for as many times as I need to say. The time in the actual nature or in a peaceful meditation is going to really kind of reflect on you like there is no tomorrow. Spending time in the forest, hugging the tree a little bit, like exchanging this wonderful energy, touching the ground a little bit, you're gonna find it super beneficial. Just being by the water, being by the river, being inside the river, being inside of the sea, you know, if you're lucky enough, you know, to be inside the sea or by the sea, because just by being by the water, it has got this absolutely mind-blowing spiritual effect on us. It cleanses our negative energy like almost immediately, let alone, you know, being beneficial when it comes to our planning, ideas and things like that, you know, and this is something that you will find really beneficial by being in the actual nature, or like time spent in a peaceful meditation. It's also kind of going to be really important when it comes to like you realizing something, some kind of idea is going to come to you that is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, and you're going to surprise yourself how come you feel connected to it. But this is where the magic is going to start. This is where the magic is going to begin for you, my gorgeous Pisceans. Indeed, this week it's also very important for you to remember to shine your light and shine your light as an example to others. Someone is going to need your help, someone is going to need your honesty. You need to be honest. Someone is going to need your help, somebody who needs to you so much. You know the truth, you need to tell them the truth, you need to open their eyes. Somebody needs your help, somebody's been misguided like so badly, so much darkness and dark energy around that person, but you're the one who knows how to help to that person. You're the one who knows the truth, okay? You need to help to this person who this is. That person is going to come to you. It's somebody who means to you, somebody who's important to you, and you're going to become aware of it, that person is misguided, because they're going to come out with something, that particular person, and you're going to be like, oh my God, no baby, no. You need to help that person, please, as much as you possibly can. This is going to get back to you like a 1,000,000 times, like later on, indeed, okay? Just remember, this is the time to shine your light as an example to others, okay? And it's also not only going to be the mind-blowing like opportunity that you're going to have at the end of the week, but this is also the time of the self-discovery. Before that opportunity, there is an important moment of self-discovery that you're going to have. So this is something that is going to surprise you, but it's most certainly going to be pretty much so relevant when it comes to you making an adjustment, when it comes to the next step of your life, my gorgeous Pisceans, indeed. Okay, my gorgeous people, I love you all so much. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos, okay? I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous people. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.